everyone. Week 4 of the basics. Leave it. Leave it, I always call the second most ignored cue. I think come is the first most ignored cue. And I say that because I see people saying leave it to their dogs all the time, and then they just drag their dog away from whatever it was they were asking them to leave. And so leave it to me is actually a pretty complicated cue. It's the first thing that I teach in this class that is more than one step. So everything you've done so far has been one thing, mark and treat. So touch, click, treat, sit, click, treat, etc. For this one, leave it to me actually means leave your focus away from whatever it is you're focusing on, look at me, and then I will give you further instruction. That's a lot of cue. So it's worth it though to me, because if a dog really does know leave it, it's you can use it for anything. You can transfer it to all kinds of different things, strollers, squirrels, bikes, whatever you want. And so I do think it's a really useful cue if you put in the time to teach this one. One little thing that you do want to be careful of is when you are first teaching this to your dog, I try to reinforce my dog or give my dog a treat that is better than what I'm asking them to leave. Because leave it is one of those things where we really need to build that reinforcement history, right? That's our savings bank. That's our savings bank of times a dog does a behavior and he gets rewarded for it. And the more times a dog gets reinforced for a behavior or rewarded for a behavior, the more times we're going to see that behavior occur. And so initially I'm going to try to set it up, because later on that's not going to be the case. You might have to ask your dog to leave a rib bone or a chicken bone that's on the ground, and your treat is probably not as valuable. But if you have that savings bank filled up, your chances are going to be better that your dog can leave it. So I'm going to have Rufus here help me, and I'm going to start by putting treats. I actually have treats in both my hands. You could have your hand that's going to give them the treats somewhere else in your house. It could be sitting on a dish near you. It could be sitting in a dish or in your treat pouch or whatever. I tend to like to take my treat pouch off for this so that he's not focusing on that. So I'm going to have in my left hand, I'm going to hold this down in front of his nose, and I'm just going to wait for him to back his nose off. As soon as he backs his nose off, I'm going to click, and then I'm going to treat. I'd like to take the treat from the other hand, not the hand I'm asking him to leave. The next step would be, I'm going to put my hand out, he's going to back off, but I'm not going to click until he looks at me. So I'm going to wait till he looks at me, click treat. Now, if your dog's having a hard time looking at you and they're backing off, but they're just staring at your hand with a treat in it, go ahead and use like a kissy sound to try to lure their eyeballs up to you. As soon as they look at you, click treat. And then we go from there. And you do have a handout that goes through all those steps, but you can start to transfer to other items. Oh, come here, Rufus. He's getting bored waiting. Okay, here we go. So, oh, let's go over here so everybody can see. So he went pretty quick and looked up at me because he's used to doing this. Your dog might take longer. That time he is using his paw. I'm going to try not to click right when his paw is up there, because he might think that I'm asking for his paw cue, which he has. Good. So I'm not sure if you can really see his eyeballs, but I'm only clicking once he looks back at me. I could probably be able to add the verbal cue at this point, so I would say, leave it. Good boy. And maybe make it a little more difficult. I might have my hand open with my treat under my thumb. Leave it. Good boy. Leave it. I'm gonna leave it in a paw. Okay, that's it. That's how it works. Make sure that you look on the section of the videos where I have notes, because I will also link to the written blog on step-by-step how to teach leave it as well. And have a good day.